what it appears like at the moment is the Chinese authorities seem to be taking action or focusing their action on food prices.
Yes.
But the inflation story is much bigger than just food, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, indeed. But however, the food prices is rising by 10%, which is much more than the headline figure of 4.4%. And the reason that why the Chinese government is actually so interested in inflation is that it was actually probably one of the major causes that caused the 89 protests.
The Tiananmen Square protests.
Because, I mean, one of the big reasons is food actually account for almost close to 40 to 50% of the lower income families' expenditure.
Okay, so the authorities are targeting that because it's politically sensitive, but there are other fires to put out, if you like. I mean, one of them, obviously, there's been a massive amount of bank lending. I mean, there's been a huge amount of cash flooding through the economy. Is the government, do you think, going to have to raise interest rates to try and cut back on the spending, on the borrowing?
Well, they're actually doing something other than the interest rate itself. I mean, they are raising the required reserve ratio, because in China it's actually quite difficult to raise interest rate very dramatically, as we have.
Why?
The primary reason is because that is going to attract an even bigger inflow of capital,
which will put more pressure on the currency.
On the currency, and that's probably the currency is probably less a concern, but the asset bubble
and the bubbles
itself is probably much more a serious concern, because that would create a major wealth effect that will increase consumption.
Okay, so can the government, in your opinion, effectively combat fighting inflation without raising interest rates dramatically?
I think so, if they are determined enough.
And what makes you think that they would or would not be?
I think they will have to, because they...
Sorry, let me just move on to that. Is that going to mean a sharp economic slowdown? Have we got to that stage now where it's inevitable?
I think we have got to the stage that is inevitable. I've been shorting, so I hope that is the case. And the trouble is that if the cities themselves are having some trouble, it's probably quite okay. But if there's a worldwide, there's a countrywide problem of the poor class having major problems in dealing with the inflation, I think that would be a major instability. And the Communist Party, my belief is that will do everything
to stop
that from happening. Stability is the primary concern.